former Baylor safety J.T. Woods. He's in Arizona training, getting ready for the upcoming workouts and all of what happens between now and the NFL draft, and of course the combine and much more. And thanks for your time. How much does your body kind of enjoy the break, even though I know you're grinding already? How much of not playing one week after another have you kind of been able to heal?
Definitely. Fortunately, I was blessed enough to not have any, serious injuries this season. So just the major issues that I've had kind of going throughout the season, just fatigue from playing, a 14-game season. So just having this 2 weeks off of, not running into another human being has been pretty nice.
But you've played in 13, you've played in 12, I'm sure you've played in, obviously, 9, and then this year you played in 14 games. What about the extra games and the toll on your body? And could you see with the expanded playoff they're talking about 15 or 16 games?
I could definitely see that, as the game has been evolving, players evolve. So we're coming into an era where you're starting to see, just greater athletes that are able to play longer durations, longer games. I just give a lot of credit to Coach Aranda and the strength staff and all the coaching staff because they really looked out for us, towards the end of the season, cutting back on reps, cutting back on practices. We weren't in full pads as much. So I think a lot of it is a give and take. Not every practice has to be full speed, running into a wall, helmets, full pads. You can get very, very productive work just out of shorts and a T-shirt. So I think it's learning how to, practice like a pro, even though you're not on a pro level.
Where is this program, JT, now? You've seen them in the Sugar Bowl twice, winning the last one, playing for a Big 12 title twice, winning the last one. What is the standard for Baylor football?
Not specifically towards Baylor football, but just Baylor athletics. The standard is to win, and that doesn't matter if it's a regular season game, a conference game, an outer conference game, a playoff game. It's just the expectation is that we are a school of winners, and I think everybody has been playing their part, whether it be basketball, tennis, equestrian, track is getting ready to start up, and then, football coming off of the season that we've had. I think we started to solidify the fact that Baylor University is a school of winning.
What was the difference, in your opinion, this year? What was the difference other than the obvious there was a true offseason, all of that? Mm-hmm. What kick-started this team?
I think the biggest factor was just the desire to win. I think from a very early state, we knew the potential that we had, and even in that COVID year, going 2-7, there was a lot of upside that we, a lot of people that are on the outside looking in couldn't see, but us being within the organization really knew. And it was just we had to tap into our potential. So I think, going into the offseason, we really, really harped on being an elite team and, just speaking those things into existence day in and day out, worked really hard. We held everybody accountable, leaders led, role players played their role, just everybody doing their part so that we could be one cohesive, functioning machine.
Everybody seems to say that. You guys did it. How hard is it to say it but follow up and like you said, holding each other accountable? It's one thing to say it but actually do it.
It's incredibly hard. It's very, very hard to win football games in college football, and let alone to win a bunch of them in a row, to win your conference, to win a big-time, bowl game as well. So, but a lot of that stuff started in January. We all see the success that we had January of this year, but all that started January of last year. Just working on the small things. That was really the biggest thing. Coach Aranda, we kind of brought us all together, and we went to the drawing boards, and he said, look, what kind of team do you guys want? Do you want a coach-led team? Do you want a players-led team? And he gave us a lot of freedom to do that, and I think that was really big because it gave us the opportunity to sit back and say, this is what we want as a team. This is what we can achieve. This is what we know we can achieve. And Coach Aranda gave us the resources to do so. So it was a lot of trust, a lot of hard work, and a lot of effort. And, sometimes a lot of people don't want to admit it, but you can get lucky sometimes. You might get a call here or there that could really change the outcome of the game. So it's really a lot that goes into it.
He mentioned that he actually had some of you go to him and say, no, you need to be tougher on us. You need to be more outspoken with us. And we know he is who he is. He's a unique guy. What was that conversation like?
Yeah, I'm sure you know Coach Aranda's a very he's very different. He knows what he knows, and he's not going to be very vocal about the things that he puts forth. But I give credit to him because he went and he got Coach Vic and all the other guys from LSU who knew how he was, and he was able to use them as a microphone to get what he wanted. And obviously, us as players coming to him and talking to him about the things that we wanted too, it was very big for him to really open up his heart, open up his mind, and really just trust us, like I said earlier. And I think that, when you have a coach that really puts trust in you and really believes that you can do what you want to do, and you see him, making changes, getting out of his comfort zone to do things, like you're going to run through a wall for that person. So you just saw a lot of guys playing a lot harder for him. Very, very good coach. Obviously, great defensive mind. So if you want to learn about football, you'd be crazy to not want to listen to him about X's and O's. So I just think all of those things put together just really made our relationship as a team much better with him as well.
Yeah, he is different. Have you ever met anyone like him at all? The way Dave Aranda, his analogies, his children's books, or people he brings up. How different? How long did it take you to get to know him?
It didn't take long. He's very upfront about how he is, and I applaud him for that. He's not going to change who he is for anybody. He's going to be true to himself. That's what you want out of a head coach.
Sure.
Somebody that's going to be honest and somebody that's going to be true to themselves. So very early on, I learned how he was going to be, and I really appreciated that. But he never fails to amaze me to bring up, just quotes from. It could be anybody. It could be King Louis V, but it'd be a relevant quote, and it would make sense. And he would know how to translate that stuff and just get everybody motivated.
You're involved. You're getting ready. You've got all this stuff happening over the next couple of months, the draft later on. What have you been told? What are your expectations?
So, by the grace of God, I got my combine invite, so I will be attending the combine. So just kind of doing everything that I can to do to just perform and show my athleticism at the combine. As you've seen, I've accepted my invite to the NFLPA bowl game, so getting ready to head to that in a couple weeks here at the end of January. So just, small steps, step by step, just working on my craft, making sure that the things that I had been taught in my 4 years at Baylor, just sharpening those tools.
You are a ball hawk. There's no question about it. What you did in the Sugar Bowl, what you did in the opening game, what you do, that's what you do. Pick up, scoop, and score 90-something yard, picks for touchdowns, and all the things you do. You almost had a fumble and caused fumble in the Sugar Bowl. When did that kind of become part of just who you were as a football player?
That side of me has always been there. I just had to let loose a little bit. This was a really big season for me because for the first time in my career, I actually, just trusted myself. I sat myself down and said, look, you're a good football player. And you are, so just go play like you are. And so I was really able to play freely this season. And a lot of that is credit due to my teammates. They allowed me to have fun each and every down that I played. And so when you're having fun, it doesn't seem like work. It doesn't seem like it's hard. I was literally just out there running around playing football with my best friends. So it just came easy. I was just able to be myself, be free. And then it helped also, a second year in that Coach Roberts' defense. So I was able to play a little bit faster as well because I knew the defense a lot better.
A lot of people discuss the defense with Dave Aranda, with what he does, and there's others on staff as well. But how sneaky, he's a longtime veteran. The caginess, the veteran of Ron Roberts and what he brings to the table.
It's something that I've seen in very few coaches. I think he knows the success that he's had, and he trusts the success that he's had. But the most important thing is he puts his guys in positions to make plays. He understands his players. He understands their strengths, their weaknesses, and he kind of molds the defense around the players. And I think that's why we were able to be so successful this year defensively, just because of his ability to do that.
How much you going to miss Jalen Petrie or Terrell Bernard and others that you've been hanging with for quite some time, and heck, you might end up seeing them in the NFL. You might be a teammate. Who knows how things go? But how about this group? You've spent so many ups and downs and parts of the journey of being a part of Baylor football.
Those are my brothers. They're always going to be a part of my family to the day that I die. It's going to be a little hard not being on the same field as them, but hopefully one day we can either be on the same team or on opposing teams, get a jersey swap. But I wish nothing for the best for every single one of those players that was on that field and that has been on the field with me. Like I said, those are my brothers. In my mind, we're family. We're blood. So I just can't wait to see what those guys are going to get into as well as we get closer to this draft day.
JT, you always seem to have this amazing smile. I mean, it lights up a room. Whether you're doing a media session, you're at practice, a game, whatever. I'm sure even now you're just kind of chilling in Arizona. It's just a gorgeous smile. When was the first time somebody said you have a beautiful smile?
It's actually funny. So I used to not be a big smiler because I had huge teeth. I had to kind of grow into my teeth. But my mom said a long time ago, I had braces when I was in the 7th grade. And right when I got my braces off, she said, "Look, boy, I paid a lot of money for that smile, so you better show those teeth off." So ever since then, I've been making sure that I'm doing my mom's wishes. I'm showing off the smile that she paid for.
JT, from Cibolo Steele High School to Baylor University and now getting ready for the NFL, what would you say about your time as a football player, student athlete, as a person, as a young man at Baylor University?
I would definitely say I learned that it's not about where you're at, but the people that you're around. I've met so many just interesting people just in my 4 years is a really short time in the grand scheme of things of life. And just in my short 4 years at Baylor University, I've met so many people, had so many friends, learned so many things from so many wise people. So just learning to be a sponge about the people that are around you, getting to know them. That's partially why I ended up studying in sociology, just because I learned that people are so interesting and I just wanted to study them. And so just learning about the interactions that I learned with the people around me, my teammates, teachers, students, even when I was running track, the track athletes, getting to know all the other athletes, that's just the biggest thing that I took away from it. And then not to mention, I'm leaving with a degree from one of the most prestigious universities in the world. So what more could you ask for?
Can't ask for much more. You've been able to take advantage of it. You've been a part of it. JT, good luck with what you're doing in the NFLPA game and also the Combine and much more. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
JT Woods, Sikkim 365 Radio and 365 Sports.